All right. Barbara London in Langhorne, 55 and older community. Scope of work's going to be weeding and bush trimming, mostly around the sides and the back. She did mention about planting in the front. I told her if she wants to pick stuff out, we can plant it for her, but I'll leave that up to her what she wants to do. So any weeds you see in the front, yank them. I think she must keep up on the front pretty good because it looks good in the front for the most part. A couple sticks you maybe pick up for her, hook her up. But yeah, I don't know if she wants stuff planted or wherever you can get with her. She said that deer and rabbits are eating these plants, so she might have you yank these out potentially. So anyway, moving over to here, basically just shrub pruning, light pruning and shaping of everything. It is hot, so just go light with the trimming. I'll put that in the estimate. And any weeds you see, yank out. I will put a disclaimer, there's a lot of nutsedge in here, which you can't really pull. So what I would say is, I'll tell her we'll just hit the nutsedge with a string trimmer the best we can, and then we'll spray it with nutsedge spray. She can't really pull nutsedge. So lightly trim and shape that, lightly trim and shape the holly. This is all nutsedge. It's that light green, looks like a grass basically. Grows really quick and it grows pretty tall. So that's the nutsedge. I would just string trim it down so it's not so aggressively looking, and then we'll spray once it's small, you know, and then it should die out. Light prune shape of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All this is nutsedge basically. Well, all the light green is nutsedge. You'll see there's a grassy plant in here. It's a darker green. You can actually see the buds on it, so you can leave that alone. The rest is nutsedge. She wasn't home for the estimate, so you could just check in with her and walk, kind of recapping what I'm talking about here. I'll word it in the email the best I can, but it's good to walk with her in person as well in case she says something different. Anyway, lightly prune and shape the holly here, lightly prune and shape this. All this is nutsedge. Again, string trim it kind of low, spray it, yank this big boy out, trim and shape this. Somebody didn't hit it with a rake good. There's some dead in here, maybe from a trimming or something. I would just trim this a little to get it off the window. All this, a light prune. Again, nothing too aggressive because it's so hot, unless she pushes this back to the fall. All this liripe looks good. A couple small weeds in there to yank. These azaleas, light trim, kind of blow out the beds a little bit. These, I guess, just lightly trim this kind of off her walkway. Maybe you want to top some of it a little bit. These are kind of tip growers. I wouldn't get too aggressive with any cutbacks in here. Maybe if we want to snip out the spokes of growth that's growing up near the roots. Big weed there you can yank. All this is liripe. You can leave it all alone, no cutbacks or anything. A couple weeds in here to yank out. Handful of small ones poking up. Now in here you got the darker greens liripe. The really light green is, the darker green is nutsedge. This lighter green, almost yellow, is liripe. Leave that alone. These you can yank, obviously. I would lightly trim and shape all that. Liripe leave alone. Yank it. All the weeds, pull it. Most of this area is nutsedge. There is some liripe, like right there and right there, but the rest of it, I know there's one liripe snuck in here, kind of getting choked out. There's one more in here getting choked out. So this area, I guess you can pull a liripe. We just got to spray around it the best we can. And try not to hit the liripe with the spray. This one's going to be tricky. I'll probably put a disclaimer in there, but do your best. And then yank that weed out. Again, in here you got liripe mixed with nutsedge, so a little bit of a challenge, but trim and shape that. I guess this is a weed. I can't imagine they would put a plant here. There's more location for a plant. Yeah, I'm thinking that's a weed, but that's something I would check with her on. I'm 95% sure this is all weed. Can't imagine they would plant something there, unless for some reason it's intentional. But if she's not here or whatever, just yank it out, clean it up, yank that out, and that's it.